Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mr. Sherpy again, back at you with another video. So today we're going to be talking about probiotics. So you may have heard of probiotics before, or you might have heard people talk about them or read them on certain types of food, but not sure what they are. So we're going to dive in a little bit more today. So starting off, before we go more in depth about probiotics, I just want to remind you guys that not all bacteria are bad. We have a bunch of friendly bacteria that I'm going to refer to them as inside of our bodies that work together with us to help us function and keep us healthy. So they help us with things like digestion, breaking down our food, supporting our immune system, and making products that we need to stay healthy, such as vitamins, and all of these different microorganisms and bacteria we call our microbiome. So when you hear microbiome, it basically means all the friendly bacteria that we have inside of us. So with that out of the way and the reminder, probiotics are basically supplements that people take that are just the friendly bacteria to help support our body functions. So basically, you can go to the store and on the shelves next to our multivitamins and things like protein powders, protein bars, you might see some like probiotics. They come like in little pills, and these are actually just bacteria, that friendly bacteria that you can take, and basically you are just adding friendly bacteria into your system by taking those probiotic pills. Or there's other ways to get probiotics, and we'll talk about that in a second here. So, what's the point of taking probiotics? What are they supposed to do? So, there are some possible benefits, emphasis on the possible. We're going to go more into depth why this might happen, might not, but some possible benefits why people tend to take them is that they can maintain or help replenish if they run low on the healthy community of microorganisms. So basically, if your microbiome is running low, or you just want to make sure you have enough to stay healthy, you can take some of these probiotics to make sure that you have enough of these microorganisms to help support that microbiome. So this could be the friendly bacteria again, some forms of yeast, etc. Another possible benefit is to get more of the desired products that these microorganisms can make, such as vitamins. So if you're running low on or deficient in some types of vitamins, some people take probiotics for the bacteria that would create these vitamins. So basically, you wouldn't have to take them, the bacteria will make them for you. And they can also help boost your immune system. So depending on the types of probiotics you take, some of the bacteria will help boost your immune system, keep you healthy, and keep away all the bad bacteria that will make you sick. So there are different types of probiotics. So on different probiotic bacteria might, emphasis on might, have these different types of effects here. So there's lactobacillus. So we see that root word bacillus, that's the bacilli. So these are ones that are going to be rod shaped, and they can help us with digestion, and they also help with making food such as yogurt and cheese. So a lot of people will buy these types of cheeses or yogurts that have probiotics on them, and it makes them seem more healthy. We're not sure if this is just they actually do help or this is just some kind of a clever marketing scheme, but either way, people buy it, people take it, and they help with digestion. There's some studies that say they help with digestion, I should say. Next, this one's a little harder to say. Bifidobacterium. So this also helps with digestion. A lot of probiotics help with digestion. And they can also help fend off harmful bacteria by taking up the space and resources that these harmful bacteria need to get a foothold and start causing issues. The bifidobacteria or bifidobacteria help fend these off. And Saccharomyces boulardii, it helps with intestine activity. So that's one way our probiotics can help us by supporting our intestines and how they work. And they can also help fight off some sort of sicknesses like diarrhea. So here, I'm just gonna move myself over here. We can see I have some cheese and some yogurt here. So these are just some examples of ways that you can get probiotics, not from the pills I was talking about earlier. You can eat some different types of food that can help provide these different types of probiotics because those probiotics help make those foods in the first place. All right. So You might hear a term probiotic versus prebiotic. So these words are obviously sound very similar, but they are not the same thing. So yeah, they're not the same thing. As you can see, pro and pre. So probiotics are the actual physical bacteria, the actual organisms that are in our microbiome. And prebiotics are nutrient supplements that help promote the growth of the microbiome. So you're not taking the actual bacteria yourself. So when you take a prebiotic, you're just taking the nutrients and the supplements needed to help promote those probiotics, the ones that help those friendly bacteria that are in our microbiome. You're taking the nutrients that help promote them. So you're not taking it really for yourself. You're taking it to help to support these friendly bacteria and make sure that they're functioning well and healthy to help you, therefore, become healthy. So it's one of those things where you take it for bacteria, which then will make you healthy. So it's like you're helping out the bacteria so they can help you. So, do probiotics actually work? Well, everyone's microbiome is a little bit different. So just like everyone has their own fingerprints, everyone has their own voice, everyone has their own DNA, everyone has their own specific microbiome. So you might have one type of bacteria, but you might have less of another, and vice versa for another person. Everyone has their like own ratio of microbiome organisms that makes them unique. So this means that certain probiotics may be more or less effective. If you already have a lot of a certain bacteria and you take more of it as a probiotic, you're probably not going to do yourself any good because you have more than enough. But if you're deficient in another, it might be way more beneficial for you to take that than another person who has normal levels. So it all depends how much of each of the probiotic bacteria that you have. So far the studies seem promising that probiotics actually do work, but there's not any concrete evidence yet. So we have evidence pointing towards that yes, micro or probiotics do actually work to help your digestive system. They help support your immune system. They help keep away harmful bacteria, but there isn't enough research and science done on it yet to come to conclusive evidence. So the jury's still out on that. And then finally, one thing to take note that many of the studies on probiotics are funded by organizations that they believe in promote in probiotics. So a lot of companies that make probiotics will actually fund studies to actually help prove, give evidence that they actually work. So this indicates that there might be some types of bias during these studies to help push evidence and push our claims towards probiotics actually working, because that's what they want, not that the actual science and studies actually say that they work. So when you see a lot of studies on probiotics, make sure you see if there's anyone funding it, and if they are someone who would promote probiotic use, take it with a grain of salt. There could be bias. Not to say that it is actually good science, but just take it with a grain of salt. Just kind of like our angry monkey here for Monkey Meme Monday. I'm keeping the tradition alive, hour 5A. You know who you are. So just keeping it real here. So just some food for thought. Like I said, a lot of probiotic studies can be biased. And since probiotics can be taken as a supplement, they actually aren't regulated by the FDA. The FDA is the Food and Drug Administration, if you guys don't know. So what the FDA does is make sure that a lot of the food and drugs that are on the shelves, like grocery stores and stuff, are actually safe for human consumption. And they actually don't look over supplements. They don't review supplements to see that they do what they claim or that they're actually healthy. As long as they're not like dangerous to health, they really don't care when it comes to supplements. And since probiotics are considered supplements in some cases, they're not reviewed by the FDA. So they can make claims about how probiotics may affect body structure or the body's functions without the FDA's consent. So this means that they can word their claims in a way that's misleading to make it seem better. And they can make claims not solved by solid evidence. So they could just, for example, someone could just take a probiotic like, oh, wow, I feel a lot better, even though it might just be a placebo effect. they can make that claim to say like, hey, it makes you feel better, promote energy or something, even though they don't actually have any scientific concrete evidence to support it. They can just make a claim based on just the worst evidence ever and still put it on the bottle to make it seem like that's what they actually do, even though, again, there is no real evidence. So take everything you read on supplements with a grain of salt. That doesn't just come from probiotics. That means like protein powders, any types of like workout stuff, any supplements, any multivitamins. Just be sure to do your research and try to find some real unbiased studies before you start taking anything to stay safe. So basically, claims can be worthless. They could be completely true. They could be worthless. It's really important that you just be smart, do your research, and find the real data for yourself. So that's everything on probiotics today. If you guys have any questions, please let any of us teachers know and just answer the questions, do your best. And I know we're coming up on distance learning soon, so I just want to remind you guys that communication is going to be key. So please don't be afraid to show up to our office hours whenever those are figured out, what times those are going to be. And you can email any of the teachers at any time. Don't be afraid. We don't bite. We're here to help. So yeah, best of luck with distance learning. It's been great seeing you all. And hopefully we can finish out this last trimester one strong. I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe.